Hi, Jason. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and thanks so much for getting back to me so quickly. Sorry I don't have my camera on, but it's Saturday morning. I'm just in my kitchen, and it's really not set up. It'd probably be more distracting than helpful. Um, but wanted to talk with you live and walk you through the demo. And what I have in mind is groups and organizations like yourself to partner with us, mainly help to promote the site. Get your members to sign up for it and use it. And I'd be happy to show you, the huge benefits in leveraging our site. It's a free site to voters and groups, and the business model is that the candidates pay to build their own profiles. And I'll show you how that works in a second. But the idea of the platform essentially came in looking back on the 2008 financial collapse. I remember this great quote from this guy that said, blaming the 2008 financial collapse on greed is like blaming a plane crash on gravity. We know it's there, it's not going anywhere, we need to engineer around it. um, as I was doing some stuff for my kids' school on mock elections, I did look back at that quote and thought, okay, money's not going away. The Supreme Court made sure of that. And then there's just a thousand other ways to advocate for groups and organizations and candidates um, by spending money and running ads, in pay to play media. So really what we need to do is we need to get it off that platform where voters have their own platform where money cannot buy, influence. So I, kind of started going through this platform and saying, well, the advantage is there need to be lots of advantages for voters. They need to be able to keep track of their candidates and races. They need to be able to review trusted sources like your organization or other organizations, and their endorsements. But it would also have to be social, and they need to be able to comment and discuss about the topics and select favorites and share with friends, and all these things in a single site. And this is what we kind of came up with. Um, it's called Win My Vote essentially because the voters are now saying, okay, we are in one place, you can come and win our vote. So it's free to voters. They sign up with a zip code and they'll get their ballot. And it'll all be done through this online interactive social ballot. So as a voter now, I can immediately see, okay, there's an election coming up on the 8th, and here are all the races, and here are the important dates leading up to that, like when the last day to register to vote is, and when and where early voting starts, and a couple of other milestones. I can also, check where my polling place is, and I can get turn-by-turn directions. And then favorites only and print ballot, I'll show you that in a sec. But now that I have my ballot and all these things, I can scroll down and see that there's a city council race and that there's a school board race at large where I need to vote for 3 of the candidates. And I can even go down and see the state propositions and the local measures. I can even see those that are pending. So I can click through here and I can see and read the pending proposition and see who's supporting it, see who's opposing it, all that stuff, so that I can become active if I want to help campaign those things. So now I go back up here, and as the candidates are building their profile and becoming certified on the ballot, I can see all those. And I can say, great, at any time I want, I can go back up to my site and say, oh, here are the 5 candidates running for City Council District 4. Now, this feature right here, which is adding trusted sources, is applicable to your organization. And that is that I'm going to be looking at a library of groups and organizations and individuals that have endorsed candidates or propositions or measures. And now I can add them to my ballot. So I don't want to see all the groups and organizations and what they're saying. I don't want to, there's no area here where some group can buy a bunch of ads and start, blasting my ballot and popping up in front of me. It's just groups and organizations, that I want to see. So I'm adding those, and then I can even search for some. So I'm searching for Moms Demand Action. I like them. And before I add them, I just want to click through to their page. And Moms Demand Action is a group. They would sign up for free. They could send it out to all their members and say, you guys, here's your free ballots. Select us as a trusted source, and you can see our online voter guide. So Moms Demand Action would have access to all the ballots in the country, and they would just go through those and favorite their candidates and make endorsements and that type of stuff. So when I'm clicking through their page, I'm in San Francisco, California. Here's their voter guide for that ballot. And now I can see it. And I can scroll down and I can see where they stand on all of the propositions and measures. And if I decide, hey, you know what, I like Mark Cuban for president, I'm going to agree with them. I don't even need to go back to my ballot. I can just click on his star and then my ballot will be updated. And if I want, I can just click on this one, which is vote like Moms Demand Action, and all of my, you know, favorites and all of the races will be favorited. So I can even go down here and I can see all of the propositions as well. And let's say I change my mind on this one, I can easily do it from here as well. And then this, I can also see how this proposition is doing. 29 are voting yes, 40 are still undecided, and 31% are voting no. And these are people that are on Win My Vote, right? So this, I'm part of this 31% that has selected no. And this is great information for groups and organizations that are supporting and opposing. You know, this is information that they typically would have to pay for, you know, thousands of dollars to pay for. Here, it's completely free. They can see this. They can then, you know, act on it. And again, this works for all of the different propositions and all the different measures. So now I add them to my ballot, which I'll show you in a minute how that works, how it shows on my ballot. But I want to, sorry about that. I want to see if my friend Sarah Smith is on there, and she is, which is great. So I can add her. And now when I go to my ballot, I can go to the city council race, and let's say Kimberly here has raised $300,000 for her campaign, and Mike has raised $500, and it won't matter to me at all. She can run TV ads and radio ads, whatever she wants to do. This is where I'll make my decision. So I'm going to look at all of the candidates in the race. So I click on Mike's profile. I can listen to his video. I can read about him. I can go up here and do a quick bio and see where he went to school and his professional life. I can see the party that he's running under. I can share his profile. I can ask him anything, which goes to a comment board, which I can get into with you later. And I can also go to his webpage, or I can donate to his campaign, or I can click on the issues, and I can see where he stands on all of the issues. And if I want to just kind of fast track to the one that's most important to me, I can do that as well. And I can see this, and then I can drill down. And since the candidate is building their own profile, they can make this as deep or as detailed as they want, the same way they would with Twitter or Facebook. They can update it, you know, real time. And now I can kind of, you know, track all that. So here's endorsements, and this would be the groups and organizations and individuals that this candidate would want to display. So I can see all those, but maybe I'm not interested in those. I'm interested in just my trusted sources. So I'm going to say, just show me my trusted sources. So now here are all my trusted sources. There's Sarah, which is great. So I can click on this and see exactly what she has to say about this candidate. I also noticed that Unite America is down here. And so I say, great, I want to hear what they have to say as well. And I can just click on that. They can create one endorsement, one video, whatever, upload it real simply. And now anybody that has selected them as a trusted source can see that right on their ballot. So I don't have to, you know, if I were to see this video on YouTube away from my ballot talking about what a great candidate Mike Young is, I may totally agree with their assessment of it, but within probably a couple of hours, forget what his name was, and was he running for city council or was he running for school board, and I can't remember, and it's gone. And that's why, you know, all the marketing people will tell you that you need to, you know, market 7 times before someone remembers the name and that type of thing. Here, they don't need to do that. And again, this is totally free. And I say, you know what, I agree with them. I select him as a favorite. And now when I go back to my ballot, you'll see that this is kind of faded out a little bit. So Mike is nice and prominent here with green nameplate and green star. And I say, great, he's going to be my pick for city council. And I can also click here and share that on social media. So I share it with a friend. And now my friend has that same experience. He doesn't have to remember the guy's name. He can just go right here, see this, watch the video, do all the same stuff. He wants to just sign in with his Facebook account. That's great. he can do that, and he can go through the endorsements. And maybe the only one he selected as a trusted source was our mutual friend, Sarah. So he can watch the same thing and then say, great, select him as a favorite, and the same thing goes on. So this is a way for groups and individuals, to sort of organize and manage their ballot. And again, I can, show you how other things work. Maybe Robert votes 31 here is most interested in Proposition 2. So he can click straight through to there. He can read the actual proposition. He can click and see sort of an explainer video. And we partner with a couple of TV programs that make these, which are great. And he can hear that. And now, let's say he added a whole bunch of different trusted sources, in the meantime, he can scroll through those and he can start clicking on them and saying, yeah, this is, exactly what I was thinking. He can see some of the ones that are saying no. He can even open these, which, sorry about that. He can open these, which are groups and organizations that have, uploaded endorsements, but you haven't selected them as a trusted source. But maybe he says, you know what, that's fine. I want to check them out anyway. So he uncovers them, and then he, hears what Eric here has to say about this proposition and why it's a bad idea. But I think he's going to decide that he's going to vote yes on that anyway, and that he's going to put his own video in there, and then he's going to publish, which is great. And he can share and do, other stuff as well, share this proposition with friends. And as a matter of fact, let's say he shares it with me, right? So now I'm here on Proposition 2. I'm going through mine, and there he is right here. And I say, okay, what does he have to say about it? And he convinces me that this is a great idea. So I say yes on that. And now, when I go back to my ballot, that's selected yes. So this is a way for voters to really just organize their vote so that you don't have to go out and spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars trying to become a household name. It's just a better, more professional way of doing it. And would love to talk with you, more about the details of partnership. We really just want you guys to promote it for us. Maybe more than that, maybe invest if you guys are interested. There is a real business model. The candidates pay upwards between $299 and $399 per year, to have their own profile. And I can talk with you about the go-to-market strategy and a variety of other things like that. So if you were interested in investing, it wouldn't be, a grant or something to a nonprofit. It would be a real investment with return and equity and all that type of stuff. But the most important part of partnering is really just the users and the user base. I've kind of self-funded. We have some other investors that are interested, but what they really want to see, are numbers. How many people have signed up? How many people are going to use it? That type of thing. Anyway, sorry about going on so long on this. And again, would love to talk with you, live about this. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.